In the previous video, we talked about the home page and how we can set it up, which was pretty easy now, wasn't it? So now it's time to talk about the blog and how you can have one or create one. A blog page is it's a standalone template to show your blog loop. So let's first start by creating a blog page for ourselves. You can do it from by going to the WordPress menu bar over here, go to pages, and then you add new. But I've already created one for myself here, blog, and I haven't really done much. All what I did is just I added a title and I published the page. And I'm really happy with that. That's pretty enough for me. But of course you're offered a set of options. You have the general options for your blog page. You can enable or disable the slideshow, of course the layout as well. You have the type of slideshow you would like to show, the page introduce, custom sidebar if you created one. You have can add Google Maps for the header from here, and the creative introduce, and lastly the SEO options. Now, should you add any content over here, this content will appear right before the blog post loop. Just telling you. So now let's go to our master key settings over here and go to blog. And here we'll see a set of options with which we can customize our blog page, starting with the blog layout. We have a left sidebar, the right sidebar, and the without sidebar at all. I'm gonna choose the right sidebar over here, already selected, right here. Then I'm going to choose the blog page, which I have just created, blog page. Then I'll move on to the loop layout style. Now you're offered three styles: the classic style, the classic thumbnail style, and the newspaper style. So let's save our changes and see how the classic layout style looks like. So go to blog over here. There it is. This is the classic one. Alright. And if we choose something like the newspaper, which pretty much looks like the newspaper which you read it in the morning, but if you read it at all. So select newspaper, save changes. Go back to our website, refresh. And there it is. It looks really nice and just like the newspaper over here. Okay. Now we are going to select the classic layout style again so that we can use this option, because the blog classic style featured image height option over here is on it can be only used with the classic layout style. So I'm gonna keep my featured image height at 300 pixels, should look nice enough, and then move on to the exclude categories. Now you can, from this option, you can exclude any categories which you don't want to show on your blog. But it's worth mentioning that if you exclude any category from the blog settings over here, let's say like articles and development, these excluded categories will also not show up in archive, search, recent posts, popular post widget, and the blog shortcode. They're not going to show as long as you disable them from the blog settings right over here. Now let's move on to the blog single post. A single post is something like that. If we, for example, click on this one, this is a single post, and you can customize it the way you like from the settings available right here under blog single post. You can set its single layout, like to have a left sidebar for it, right sidebar, or without sidebar. Let's try the left sidebar this time. We want a featured image. You can enable or disable from here. You can set the height from this option also. Keep it at 300, it should look nice. Then you have other really obvious and straightforward options, such as the blog meta, the about author box, the social bookmarks. You can enable or disable them from here, easy as that. The related posts, previous and next navigation, and the comments date format. Save our changes, and Just refresh to see what we have done so far. See, nice and easy and simple. Now, if you want to insert our blog page in our menu, for example, something like that over here, it's pretty simple. All what you have to do is just go to Appearance, Menus, and scroll down to Pages, View All, select the page and add to menu. Simple as that. It should look something like that. It will be added right over here. Now, the last thing I would like to mention is that the blog shortcode is different from the blog page. For example, if you go to Pages, go to our blog, and select the blog shortcode, we'll be offered other set of options. You can set how many columns you'd like to have, 1 to 4, the layout with sidebar or the full layout, and you can set the height of your featured image that you would like to set, how many posts you'd like to have, count, and again make sure that this option offset is set at 0 unless you would like to skip or pass over, and just as it says over here. Then you can set the categories and the posts which you'd like to show. It's really optional. And then you have another set of straightforward options that are available, easy to use, such as featured image, title, excerpt, the more button size, and the pagination, which is better to be kept off or disabled. You hit insert and it will be inserted in the content area right over here, update, and you're good to go. And that's pretty much it.